Hola mis amigos de Patreon. Hoy voy a hablar sobre college debt y si vale la pena irse a la universidad. Empecemos. Okay, hello. Hello my friends on Patreon. This is going to be an extra video for Patreon. So today I am going to share two things with you guys. I'm going to share my thoughts about if it is worth it, si vale la pena, if it is worth it to go to college here in the U.S., to take a student debt loan, a loan to go to college, and some of my other thoughts about the topic, okay? And then later, I asked my sister, mi hermana, I asked my sister some questions because she has a lot of experience with this, okay? She was a teacher, okay? And she has a lot of student loan debt. So she is going to tell us her thoughts about if it was worth it or not. So first I want to say that I watch a YouTube channel of a man named Dave Ramsey. This is Dave Ramsey, okay? I watch Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey, he talks about money, about how to get out of debt, get rid of your debt, okay, deuda, and how to live a better life with your money, okay? So Dave Ramsey is very smart, muy inteligente. He's very smart, and I love to listen to him because I learn a lot of things that I could use in my life. So if you can understand me when I speak like this, I think you could probably understand Dave Ramsey if you use subtitles in English, okay? So maybe you might want to go check out Dave Ramsey and see what he says. Very smart man, okay? And he knows about money. So one thing that I hear very often on that show is that there's a lot of people, they went to school, to college. They went to the college and here in the US and they spent a lot of money. They got loans for a lot of money, okay? 60,000, 100,000, 200,000. There are some doctors who have student loan debt of more than $1 million. That's a lot of money. The thing that I hear on the Dave Ramsey show is that a lot of these people that have $80,000 in debt, $150,000 in debt, and then the job that they have, el trabajo que tienen, it only pays 40,000 or 50,000. No vale la pena eso. That's not worth it, okay? So you need to think about some certain things before you make this decision, okay? The first thing is that money is very, very important, but it is not everything, okay? It is not everything. So first, I think that you need to think about, is this career, this job that I'm trying to get a degree to get, will it make me happy? Will it make me happy for the rest of my life? You need to think about that. It's very important. Because if you spend $80,000 for something that will not make you happy, that is a bad investment, okay? That is a bad investment. But if you spend $80,000 on a job that pays $100,000 and you love it, you love that job, that's a good investment. That's a great investment because you're going to make enough money that you can pay off your debt, pagar tus deudas, okay? And you'll be happy because you're going to be doing a good job, okay? Maybe you're doing a job that you get to help people and you like to help people. Maybe you're working with numbers like an accountant, contador, okay? And you like to work with numbers, you like math, matemáticas, things like that, okay? So you need to think, is this career going to make me money? And is it going to make me happy, okay? I think education is very important, okay? It's very important. But going to college and paying a bunch of money is not for everybody, okay? It's not for everybody. When I was younger, cuando era joven, and I was getting out of high school, okay, I did not know what I wanted to do with my life. So I am happy that I did not get a bunch of student loans and go try to do something that I don't even know what I want to do, okay? That would have been a bad investment. So I'm happy that I did not go to college right after high school and get a bunch of debt, okay, for something that I did not want to do. Because in that time, I did not know what I wanted to do. It wasn't until later in my life that I aprendí, that I have a passion for languages, okay? So then I started to teach myself languages. I started to learn so much, to read so much, okay? Meeting awesome people. And I'm very happy that I found out what I enjoy doing later in my life, and I do not have $100,000 in debt. And another thing is, there are great jobs that you could get without a college degree, okay? So you need to think about that, okay? My best friend, he works, el trabajo. He works in the same company that I work at, okay? Now, I do okay. I make okay money at this job. And there are a lot of other benefits. Great insurance for myself and my son, okay? It pays well. Good. I have a lot of free time, okay, to do the things that I love, like this. But my friend, he works a lot, muchas horas, a lot of hours there, okay? And last year, 2022, my friend made $130,000. $130,000. And in high school, my friend did not get good grades. He did not do good in school. But now, he made more than any 3 teachers in that school combined, okay? Those teachers at that school probably make about $40,000. My friend, my best friend, he made $130,000 last year. And those teachers, they used to talk bad about him, okay? They used to talk bad about him and me. I was not a great student in high school either, because I did not know what I wanted out of life, okay? It wasn't until later that I learned that I love to help people. Okay, I love to help people. I like to teach people. And I love languages, okay? So now I know what my mission is, okay? I do it every day. I know what my mission is. So I think it is important. I think that it is very important that you know what your mission is before you go and spend a bunch of money and take out a big loan, okay? It's important that you know what you want to do with your life first. Now, if you want to be a doctor or a surgeon because you want to help people, you want to save people's lives, I think that that's a good investment, okay? You'll have a big loan, but you'll also make a lot of money, and you will be happy because you're doing what you want to do. That's the important thing. Another thing to keep in mind, think about it, is that there are a lot, muchas, millionaires and billionaires who either did not go to college or did not finish college, okay? And if they could do it, I could do it. If they could do it, you could do it. So education is so important. That's why I read so much, okay? I read so much. If I'm watching a video, it's about something that I'm learning from, okay? My mind is learning every day. But I think it's important not to go to college just because your parents are telling you to, your teachers are telling you to, your friends are telling you to, okay? It's important to do what you want to do in this life, okay? This is your life and you only have one. So do with it what you want to do, okay? So you need to be wise, okay? You need to have wisdom when you're thinking about these, sabiduría, okay? Because if you do not think about these with wisdom, then you might end up with a job that you hate, and with $100,000 in school debt, okay? Now me, I maybe am not the best person to talk about this. I am somebody who is pretty successful with money. I do a lot of things that I love in my life. I'm a happy person, okay? But I wanted to ask somebody who has a lot more experience with this to give you a great answer, okay? So I asked my sister, and here she is. Now, I'll make sure that there is English subtitles for this, okay, and Spanish, just in case, because my sister, she talks a little bit fast, all right? So this will be great practice for you, great practice for your listening, and maybe you'll learn something that can help to answer your question. Here's my sister. Kristen, so what is your degree or degrees in?
I have a bachelor's degree in secondary English education, and then with a minor in special education. So I had to take extra classes for the minor so that I could be licensed, I guess is the word, to teach special ed.
And what is special ed?
special education, so students who have special needs, whether they be gifted students who have like extra needs that they have because they are super smart, or students who are maybe lagging a little bit behind other students in the classroom who need extra support to be able to get to where their classmates are.
Okay, and how long were you in university, or what we say here, college?
I was in college for 5 years. It was supposed to be 4, and then I transferred to Indianapolis, which is a city in Indiana, here in the US, and they did not accept all of my credits when I transferred from my original school, so I ended up having to do 5 years to make up those credits that they would not accept when I moved.
Okay, so this one may be a little bit painful, but could you give us an estimate of what your total student debt was?
Yes. Right now I think it's up to, with interest and stuff like that, $93,000 in debt. That is partly because of the school that I chose to go to, though, because I did decide to go to a private college. Those are definitely more expensive here in the US, where if you go to a state school, definitely a lot cheaper, especially if you are a resident of that state. So if you live there, you get a discount on your tuition. But I decided that I wanted to move to Indy and go to a private college, and they are a lot more expensive. So it cost me a lot more than average. I would say a lot of other people are probably closer to like between 60, 70, 50 $1,000 in debt, but I am definitely up there. Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay, and what did you earn with the first job you got with that degree?
My first job I got, so teaching in general does not pay a lot in the United States, especially in like Indiana and Illinois where I've lived. My first teaching job I made, I think it was like $35,000 a year. Not worth it at that time. Definitely not. I've been able to use my degree to earn a lot more money now with the job that I have now, but actually teaching did not pay me a whole lot of money starting out, or when I left it. I still wasn't making a whole lot when I left.
Okay, so do you think going to school to become a teacher is a good option for a career?
I think if you have family or a spouse or somebody like that who is also bringing in money, then in that case it can be worth it. If you feel like teaching is something that you really want to do and you feel like called to do that, like you feel just deep in your soul that that is what you should be doing, then it can be worth it. I'm not a teacher anymore. I ended up leaving teaching and now I work at an educational technology company. I can still use what I learned with my degree, and I would say definitely now, if I did not have that degree, I wouldn't have the job that I have now, so in that sense, it definitely felt worth it. But teaching itself, to me at least, did not feel worth it, especially in the beginning, when I was really, really struggling to make ends meet and make enough money to live on my own. Was definitely rough.
I think that is a problem that a lot of people find when they go for these high-end degrees. They wind up with upwards of $100,000, sometimes $200,000 debt.
Yeah.
And then they earn less than $50,000 with the job they finally get.
Yeah, and especially a lot of the time when people are going to grad school, so you can get your bachelor's in undergrad and then you can get a master's in grad school, and that's where a lot of that big debt comes in, that $100,000, $200,000. Even like people who go to medical school, they expect they're going to be making a lot of money being a doctor, and even those guys a lot of the time when they're starting out, it can feel very not worth it for the amount of money that they're in debt. It's very expensive here.
So what would you recommend taking out a huge loan like that for getting an education? Or are there other ways that you think you could get that same education?
There are definitely other ways. I think like if college is the route that you want to go, doing everything that you can to get scholarships can be really, really helpful. When I was still a teacher, I taught high school, and I had a group of students who I was their advisor, helping them to decide if they wanted to go to college or just do some sort of like trade school career and things like that. And definitely there are like scholarships that you can earn to help you pay your way through without having to take out a lot of loans. I just think if loans are going to be the only way for you to go to school, just be very, very sure that that is what you want to do with your life, because it is a lot of money that can sometimes end up not worth it if you don't end up in the like area that you went to school for. And that happens a lot, where people end up way out there doing something else they never thought that they would do with their degree, and their degree means nothing for that job. So definitely like do some soul searching and decide if it's really what you want to do. And if there are like other certifications that you can do, those are much, much cheaper than getting a bachelor's or a master's degree. Associate's degrees are also a lot cheaper, and those are usually like 2 to 3 year programs where you can get your foot in the door with a lot of those same jobs. And then similar to what I've done, you can kind of move on up into a higher role, and you'll have much, much less debt if you go that route. So I would say just really make sure that what you are going to school for is absolutely what you want to be doing, if loans are going to be the only way that you can pay for it, because that will follow you for the rest of your life unless you happen to be very fortunate and have family who can help you pay and things like that. But for most of us, that's not the case. For me, that was not the case. I had to do it myself or it wasn't going to happen. So that was very rough.
Okay, so as a teacher, what were some of the problems that you faced and that you saw in the U.S. education system?
So many things. Teaching is very, very hard. A lot of issues come from people who are administrators, so principals, superintendents, which are the people who kind of oversee several different schools within a school district. And a lot of those people make the decisions that make teachers' lives a lot more difficult. And a lot of those people were never teachers themselves, so they don't understand what they're asking teachers to do. And so that was really hard, because I would have a lot of the time, like my principal, would tell me to do certain things, ask me to do certain things, and that was really frustrating because I knew what was best for my students, and it was not what he was asking me to be doing. And so that was definitely hard. And I think sometimes you have parents who are overly involved sometimes, and so they want everything to be like perfect for their child, and I understand that. But they also have to remember there are sometimes 35 children in a single classroom, and I have to attend to all of their needs and not just your child's. And so balancing that was very difficult too. And parents obviously should have a say in their students' education, but so definitely sometimes overstep and make things very, very difficult for the teachers when we're just trying to do the best we can, with what we have, and what we have isn't always a lot. So it was very difficult, very, very difficult.
Okay, is there anything positive that you could say about the education system here in the U.S.?
I do think, money aside, and the thing is, like, most of the positives you can also find elsewhere, right? Like, a lot of the things that I really took away from my college experience was just meeting people who had other experiences from my own. I moved away to go to college. I'm not from Indianapolis. So when I moved down there, I got to meet all new people, and none of them were people that I knew from high school or from elementary school. They were all new to me, and they were also from all over the place. And so that, I think, was a really valuable experience. But you can do that in other ways as well. Like if you join clubs around you, if you just move just because, and you move to a new place, you're going to meet new people who have other experiences that are different from you. But I do think that if I had not moved to go to college, I would probably have missed out on a lot of that. And my life, I think, would look very, very different if I had not gone to college. And so I definitely think that that was a positive. But again, there are so many other ways that you can get that same thing and that same benefit if you just put yourself out there to meet new people and go to new places. So college is not the only way to do that, but it was definitely one of the benefits for me.
Okay, now say something in Spanish.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you very much for helping us out.
You're welcome.
Okay, wait, you have to do what I do. It's like, nos vemos pronto.
Nos vemos pronto.